Hey there, fellow explorers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, Episode 14, Seeking Traders. So things to look out for. I want to try to find seeds. Might as well just grab some berries and forage. So grab some seeds, like these. So these are carrot seeds. Although it's very unlikely I'm going to actually grow carrots, because carrots require potassium, which means they compete with the same nutrients as flax does. And because flax is so important, when you grow flax also saps a lot of nutrients from the soil. So when you're growing flax, you're probably not planting anything that competes with the same nutrients for flax. Not unless you want an unbelievably long grow time. So other things to look out for. If we see any really fat bunnies, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to hunt them. For me to get my first set of armor made, first set of bronze armor, what I need for that is some pelts and fat. And I already have some pelts, but I don't have any fat, because I need to essentially oil the pelts up, or oil the hides up to become pelts. That would be a more accurate way of saying it. I'm also choosing to try to head southbound in hopes to find Terra Preta, because Terra Preta is more common in around the equator. The warmer it is and the more moist it is, the more likely I am to find it. Oh, oyster mushrooms. Take that. Guess while I'm out here, I'll pick up sticks too. I think it's very likely I just get ganked by a wolf, though. Which is why I'm, other than some basic flint tools, I'm just running naked. So there's not really a loss. It's also possible to find ruins, speaking of which. Find ruins while I'm out. And ruins can sometimes have storage urns to crack open and to loot. And then, if I'm really lucky, I could find meteoric iron. I wouldn't hold my breath for that, but it's not entirely impossible. I'm not going to be able to exploit meteoric iron for a while. Well, no, that's not true. But if I found it, I would obviously mark it on my map, and because meteoric iron is sort of like a half step up from regular iron towards steel. So it's like not as good as steel, but because steel is so difficult to obtain, it's a good stopgap measure when you're struggling to get steel. So these sort of tiered soils is probably the easiest way to spot Terra Preta, because Terra Preta is very brown and easy to spot. Oh, bony soil. And a farming vessel. I like the sound of that. A little bit of a gravel fall. All right, what did I get from that? Cabbage seeds, nice! Cabbage is one of the best sources of fulfilling your vegetable needs. It's a very nutrient, which is funny, because like in real life, I don't think eating cabbage is going to make you feel full. But cabbage fulfills your vegetable needs in a big way. So it's a great thing to farm. And also, as you can see, it's N, nitrogen. So it doesn't compete with flax. One reason to pick a lot more berries than you think you're going to eat, the challenge of berries, or the challenge of fruit in general in this game, is there's a lot of fruit that you can just like find in the world, but the berries that you get spoil rather quickly. As you can see, perishable, fresh for 2 days. So it's going to it's going to spoil very, very quickly. Ooh, native copper bits. Let's mark that down. So it's a good way to get rot. And the challenge of berries is, in order to preserve the berries, there's a few different ways to do it. You can turn it into jams, but that requires honey. But once you have it in a jam, you can put it in a crock pot. Oh, that's a rift. Let's get away from that. You can put it in a crock pot and seal the crock pot, and it will keep for a very long time in a cellar, like years. And then the other way is to distill it into juice, or press it into juices and then distill it into alcohols. I don't particularly care for the drunk mechanic in the game. Like, being drunk in this game is kind of actually nauseating. So, but you can double distill alcohol, and that's useful for, like, healing, so that you can have alcohol-soaked bandages when you're hurt. So yeah, it's terrain like this, which is really, I find, ideal for finding Terra Preta, because it's so easy to spot in the sort of like tiered patties. But I'm not really in the right biome for bees, as I would need to be around trees primarily to find beehives. Those are wolves? No, boars, okay. Oh, more copper. Swank. Surface copper is not uncommon. But this is a lot of copper bits to pick up. I have 28 copper just found in my hand. Hot damn. While I'm down here, I might as well mark down what kind of trader this is, so that if I need to buy things later on, I know where they are. So you are a clothing trader. So I can buy some basic clothing, and I can sell some basic clothing. Okay, let's mark that down. Clothing trader. Hello, Fox. I have a pretty full inventory, and some of it is like actually valuable stuff, like the cabbage seeds. So I'm going to start to loop around and work my way back home. I'm going to get a little risky and like dip a toe into this forest, knowing that like forests house wolves and bears at a much higher ratio. But it's also... No, it's actually noon. It's just so stormy it looks dark. Want to hunt boars? Because boars gore, man. Boars hurt. I could, like, make a nerd poll and try to hunt them that way. It's gonna be really hard to hear bees in this heavy rain. Game, you could have made it, like, a little bit easier for me to forage for bees. But if you're wondering, what we're looking for is a hive, which will be... It will look like that. And typically they'll hang off of the limbs of trees. And then once we find a beehive, we want to then make a skep. So an empty skep is just a bunch of reeds and some clay. And plop the skep within 7 tiles of the beehive, so that they will swarm and inhabit the skep. And then we can move the skep over to our base, and we will essentially be domesticating bees. I mean, they're not domesticated, but we can start beekeeping. Oh, that's a bear. That's a bear. That's a bear. That's a big old bear. Took the risk that he wasn't chasing me because it didn't seem like he was chasing me because I found copper on my way over. The other thing is, like, the more flowers are around the beehive, the quicker they will swarm into the skep. So if we did find a beehive, we would probably want to plant a whole bunch of flowers around it so that they would swarm quicker. That's a big old puffball. And then we want at least 2 beehives, but ideally, like, the more the merrier for when we are, for when we're beekeeping. Because what ends up happening is, once you have a populated beehive in your base, so let's say you set up like a large zone in your base that is full of flowers and it has a few skeps. Eventually what will happen is the bees will make enough honey for you to harvest the honey. But in harvesting the honey, you actually destroy the skep in the process, and therefore destroy the hive in the process. So the way to sustainably farm bees is you need multiple skeps, so that once you destroy a skep, you put another skep down that's empty, and a nearby hive will then swarm to the one that you've harvested. So that's sort of how it works. So it's not enough to just build one skep. You need probably, like, let's say 5 is like a good number. But for 5, I really only need to find one source beehive, one wild beehive. Because even just finding a singular wild beehive will allow me to have that beehive swarm into a skep that I designate there, and then I can have that skep then populate other skeps. And it takes a bit of time for the bees to reproduce, but even just a single wild beehive will do. Ideally, I like a large one, but beggars can't be choosers. Also, if I'm struggling to find lime for leatherworking, some of these shorelines have some seashells, which can be useful for lime in a pinch. It doesn't give you a lot of lime, so it's not going to jumpstart like a leatherworking industry. But if you're screwed, you can always crush some seashells. Don't ram me. Don't ram me. Oh, God, don't ram me. Jerk. You're big, fat, and ugly. Bye! Well, I definitely did not find any beehives on this run. But it wasn't fruitless. I'm not even a little sorry about that pun. And I found a bear and didn't die to it. So, that's got to count for, I don't know, bonus points or something. How about you guys vote for what I do next? If you want me to continue looking for bees, you are more than welcome to vote for that. If you want me doing something else, vote for that instead. It's up to you. I'm happy to keep searching. I can search in other directions. Or I can do home improvements, like building a cellar, or work on leatherworking by doing some hunting and getting some animal fat for pelts and maybe a bow. Whatever you want. Prospecting, etc. I'm happy to oblige. Got a lot of berries. Where to put the fire? Maybe I'll put the fire Here. Oops. Let's see. I will do a rye grain with berries, because I just have so many berries. Alright. Rye porridge with mashed blackcurrant. Waterlogged path blocks, you think? Yeah, they probably are. If at some point it becomes voted on for me to do base improvements, I can fix that. But until that becomes voted on, I don't really care. Alright, these are parched blocks. I need to start watering them as well. Onions, spelt. I wasn't planting rye because it doesn't fare well in warm. Put that away. And then what was this? Turnip? Same deal. Let's go get our watering can. That's another thing that I haven't made that I could, which is a bucket. A good old bucket for me to move water around or whatever. And yeah, I can make a bucket now that I have a saw blade. I'm mostly concerned with watering the flax. But if I made a bucket, and I'll probably make a bucket like now and fill these holes with water, because there's no point in having a farm planned around proximity moisture without the ability to have proximity moisture. So I forgot about that, and I'll get to that. But that will keep our moisture levels at a minimum of 75, as every plot in this farm has water proximity. And then if you ever want to go above 75, you can always just grab your watering can and do it yourself, or wait for rain or something in between. Here, you stay there, bucket. Or can. Alright, let's do bucket. So bucket is flax twine and 5 planks. So here's 1 flax twine and 5 planks. And this will allow me to yoink some water. Can I interest you in some ladders? Not yet. No. Oops. You gotta stop biting yourself. Okay. So now nothing will drop below the 75 moisture. And that should help it grow a lot faster. I'll just put the other bucket here. Nice. Did a little bit of farming. Oh, you know what? I had a bunch of puffballs. I should have made porridge out of them. Or stew or something. Alright. I will give you until I am done panning my bony soil to vote. So bony soil is kind of like treasure soil, where it can have valuable things in it, like gold nuggets or candles or bones or something. Like this one had a bone so far. Oh, silver nugget. It's one of those, if you find bony soil, taking the time to pan it. Oh, here's flax fibers. Oh, rough emerald. You know, just finding some emeralds in my soil. You can do this with gravel and sand, yeah, but gravel and sand won't have emeralds and silver in them like bony soil does. Bony soil is the good stuff to pan. So whenever you find it, dig it up. Unless you're so wealthy you could ignore it. I suppose. There might be a time when the effort is not worth it. Oh yeah, even found a rusty gear. You can even find temporal gears, which are really rare to find in bony soil, like 1 in 1,000 chance or something like that. I forget exactly. I think it's even like 1 in 2,000 chance or something lower. But it's still possible. Oh, another rusted gear. I'm just pulling currency out of the ground. A flint arrowhead? Yeah, I don't need that. Throw it into the water. And almost enough flax fibers to pay for an entire bucket. 4 fibers is... Oh, more gears. Dang. Alright, I'll just leave the pan here. Got 4 gears out of that. My goodness. Where to put those bowls? There they are. Yeah, my perish rate is rather high right now, because this is definitely not a cellar. That's okay. I'll just have to eat quick. Alright, you guys want me to do exploration and home improvement. Okie dokie. I think getting rid of the waterlogged path blocks is going to be a nice thing to do. And because there was a lot of votes for home improvement, let's have at it. I'm not even using tools for this. The other thing I'm going to do is to make a very, very basic, I can't stress that enough, a very basic food cellar. Not to be considered a permanent edifice of the base, but just one that will stop my food from spoiling really quickly. And then we'll do the exploration. The stone path blocks already look soggy as it is, so it's like, nah, I'm good with not... Oh, actually, you know what? Well, here, let's do it like this. So I'm good with not having it look even more cave-like. So this will just be my little food cellar. Again, just a mound of dirt is all it will take. And then we'll stick a door on it and call it a day. I don't even have like an oil lamp. So it's like a monster spawner food cave. But didn't take me very long, and that's the point. Path blocks. There. So now it's no longer waterlogged. Oh, berries are rotting. Now there is a reason to like purposely rot your food, because rot can be made into compost, and compost can be used to fertilize your soil, or alternatively to make better farm blocks entirely. So here, the power speed is 23%. So like these berries last for, or here, this turnip lasts for 86 days. And if I put this turnip in this room, it lasts for 17 days. Kind of a significant difference for literally just sticking some dirt in a cave-like structure and throwing a door on there. Right? Minimal effort, maximum gain. It's pretty good. Oh, flax seeds. Yeah, let's plant those. And now the need for a ladder is apparent. Boop. I put the copper in the fridge, did I? Yes, I did. Copper, you're not edible. Yet. Okay. Well, I'm really not hungry. So, grab some bowls of food. Put these away too, so they keep better. 2 of them away. So now they keep for 20 days in there. In my inventory, they keep for like 3 days. Much, much, much better. Am I not afraid of bunny spawning anymore? I mean, I am. I should fence this off. Yeah, because this is hoppable now, the way it is set up. Yeah, I'll just quickly modify that to stop bunnies. A true home improvement didn't yet get voted on, so I'm not committing. Oh, I hear a rift nearby. I'm not committing resources for it. Oh, the drifter just threw rocks at me. What a jerk. I've done nothing but slaughter their kind. And how do they repay me? Throwing rocks at me. Okay. I don't think a bunny's going to get up there. In fact, I don't think a me is getting up there either. Unless I do the clever, like, gravity-defying sideways jump. Well, there we go. Lovely little farm. Tiny little, storage cellar. Yeah, we're good. Let's, what time is it in game? It's time to sleep. So the current priority now is explore. Ooh. I hear some spoopy monsters. So what do I want to explore? Let's think about this. Probably going to want another flint shovel. And then I'm going to want to bring my prospect pick, so that I can do some cave survey and prospecting. Figure out if there's anything good nearby while I'm out and about. I got my pro pick. Got my torches. And a spare shovel. Some food. There's only 1% food in this meal. I'm just going to dump it. Takes up too much room. In fact, I might even put the other meal entirely away, knowing that I'll probably just be foraging while I'm out and about. Here, you can be there. Alright, flashpole. Direction. So I did say that I think south has the most likely Terra Petra, but I did just go south-ish. So if you want me to try a different direction, feel free to propose that. And I'm just going to do a quick audit in the daylight now. Yeah, okay, I know, we're buddy-proof again. Cool. All right, south again. Let's go. So I will... Oh, dang. So I want... This is some sort of trader. I'll pin that. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to pin that as a point of interest. I don't have enough game experience to be able to identify those types of things from the map. These, like, crosses are fruit trees. I'm pretty sure. Fruit trees are rather complicated to farm. So that's not a good goal for now. That's a goal for later. Alright, there's definitely another trader here. So I'll pin that. So while I'm out and about exploring for Terra Preta, I might as well just be trying to find, trying to locate traders and to find beehives and that kind of thing. And with my pro pick, anytime I find a cave, to do a prospecting survey of that cave to see if the cave is has got some potential for future mining. The things I'm probably looking for, I wouldn't mind finding borax, which is useful for leather making and also making advanced anvils. I wouldn't mind finding salt, which is really good for brining. Brining allows you to preserve vegetables, and it also allows you to do cheese making. I don't think I'm going to have milk anytime soon, but, like, let's say I do. You need salt for that. So, anything that could be, like, saltpeter, although I'm not going to be pro-picking for saltpeter, but anything that could be used for fertilizer in the farms would be nice as well to have. Really, the big one I would say is bees. Bees and flax. Bees, flax, and resin. Let me recorrect. So bees are really important, like I was saying before, for like jams. But also the beeswax is really important for illumination. Sort of the best mass-produced illumination that players usually go for is lanterns, which is 2 metal ingots, 2 glass, and a candle. And candles are made of beeswax. So unless you can find just straight up candles while you're panning like bony soil or something like that, you're probably more copper. You're probably going to want to find bees just for that alone. Man, there's so much surface copper around. It's one of those, like, once you're experienced enough to know what you're looking for, the wilderness is really truly like just full of valuable resources, but like for a new player you might not just know what to look for, so you could pass over it unaware of the value of these things, like checking pine trees for resin. So one of the major uses for resin is a major oh, and here's some resin right here. Resin here, I'll show you. If you hit Control H, resin is useful for making bows, but also angled gears, windmill rotors, brakes, Helvhammer bases, wooden toggles. Wooden toggles is for pulverizers to crush stone for a bunch of different purposes, dyes, or even steel making. You need a pulverizer. Large gear sections, clutches, and transmissions for mechanical power. So to be able to turn on and off mechanical power structures, and yeah, it's, as I was saying before, you don't get resin by cutting down trees that have resin on them. You need to actually just see the resin and grab it. I have never been struck by lightning, but I'm not saying it's impossible. It just has never happened to me, and I only have an anecdotal experience. Unfortunately, no, there is no maple syrup. I really wish there were. That'd be awesome. Growing up in the Northeast, I am a big fan of maple syrup. I feel like every time I go looking for bees, it frickin' rains on me, man. Also, just in case I, like, never find Terra Preta, I'll just collect as many berries as I can, and knowing that I can, like, purposely rot them. That's probably what a lot of players do with berries, is just collect a ton of berries and, like, intentionally let them rot so that they can become fertilizer. It's not, it's, ooh, even more copper. It might be less of an effortful, yeah, it might be less effortful to do it that way than actually trying to find Terra Preta, unless you, like, make the trek down to, like, the jungle, to the rainforest. Well, let's do a little pro picking. Seems like an easy enough cave to pro pick. How much am I aiming for? Oh, I don't have a specific goal. Enough to feed myself. You know, like, even a single farm's worth is fine. So it's a 12% native copper. And 2% bismuth. All right. That's pretty high copper. What is bismuth? Like, element-wise, B something? BI? BI, okay. Okay, there we go. Marked it down. 12% BI, or CU, 2% BI. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 17th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphim.